Hello friends, welcome back. It's been a minute. Had some changes going on around here. Some sad things happen around here and just everything in between. I already fed all the animals their breakfast, but I had to grab this crate and go put it back in the feed room because I don't need it right now. So I already went and hosed it off and just check up on a few things and see how things go. Good morning, Penelope. Yeah. Everybody got their breakfast already. I'm still having to separate Olive and Charlotte. There is the reason why. We still have one boy, Mr. Spanky, running around, and I am not about to have more piglets. So he's out and the babies are out with mama. I still have 2 more girls, so 3 total. Probably let them out for a couple hours. I don't know why those 2 are fighting over there. And then I'm gonna let those guys out. I might have to separate them actually. So yeah, it is what it is. You ready to go? You ready to go inside? Okay, coming over to the goats. This is one of the things I wanted to share, which I didn't really share here on my channel yet. So if you guys may have noticed, we kind of changed up our herd a little bit. So this is our new guy. This is little Rocky. He's a little guy. Still waiting on his paperwork. I just sent it in. I still have Roslyn and I still have Crystal, but you may notice that Summer is no longer with us. She actually was, we sent her to a goat sanctuary. Say hi, pretty girl. To be with other goats, and because I did test my herd finally, and if you guys may remember earlier that we noticed that she had a limp in her leg for a while that never really seemed to heal. And we realized that it was because she was tested positive for CAE, and I'll get more into that in just a second. But yeah, so we did have a couple changes here, and these 2 guys are buddies. I have been putting them out in their house in the buck pen over there, but I just, especially because when my test results came back that Summer was positive, I didn't want Rambo or the new guy, little Rocky, to be jumping on her because it can be contracted that way. So what's up, pretty girl? She just wants to be with me all the time. Do you miss your friend? Her and Summer were really close. Aw, the herd numbers have changed, guys. I'm just having such bad luck with these goats, you guys. Come on, let's go. What are you waiting for? Let's go take this to the feed room. Oh man, I took over my spot. You know what? I'm just gonna stick it right here right now until we're still kind of figuring out where we want everything. I'm gonna have to go stock up on some pig feed in just a minute, and then I'm good on goat feed. I still have another one up in the house that I got to bring back down here. So, okay, so I introduced you to our new little buckling. We decided that it was better for us to just get another buckling to keep Rambo company in when they get like permanently moved to the buck pen. They have spent a few nights out there, like I mentioned, especially when Summer was still here. I'm gonna push this in just a minute. Okay. Especially when Summer was still here, because I did not want them to contract anything from her. But we did get him, instead of getting a wether, we went back and forth with the idea of just getting him like a companion, just a wether, which is a castrated male, if you did not know. But in the end, we decided it was better to get just another buckling. We can breed out different breed lines, kind of just get this ball rolling as to breeding them. Oh my gosh, my little feed room here is a mess. So that's kind of what we did. And so he's been with us for a month now. And I haven't really been on my channel much because we've just had a lot of changes going on. We also put up a new round pen and some horse stalls, which I'll show you guys in just a minute. But that's because we do want to have horses in the future. But we wanted to get the setup done first, because if we did see something that was going to work out for us as far as a horse goes. We didn't want to have to be like, well, we don't have nowhere to put it. So we kind of just felt it was best to do that. And me and my husband ended up driving out to Mesa, Arizona, stayed the night with my dad. I picked it up, came home. Within 24 hours, we ended up just going down there because it was going to be like, you know, a really expensive cost just to ship it. And Arizona's like 5 to 6 hours away from us. So we just figured it was better for us to just drive out there and do that. So again, that's what we did. I'm just going to show you guys really fast before I continue. So these are the 3 stalls. I will definitely get a better view of it when we actually put animals in there. We ended up buying some barrels, cutting it, and kind of just seeing how it works. Again, we've never owned horses, so it's just a learning curve for us. There's our huge round pen. I believe it's a 60-foot round pen, so that we can train them and let them kind of run around, do their thing. Yeah, so there we go. I just got all our trees in. And an update on my poor sad arborvitaes. You guys know I've been trying to get these things going. They are just not doing well. I definitely think I'm gonna have to do something else back here because they are just struggling. Even my maples have not even sprouted 1 leaf, so. Pirate, what are we gonna do about that? What are we gonna do? Well, I'm really disappointed that my arborvitaes have not taken off. You know, ordering plants online, you always kind of take that risk. They're expensive. The shipping's expensive. So it's kind of like maddening in a way. I'm gonna try to adjust because I have a glare on my glasses and it's morning, so I don't have my contacts on yet. So I kind of feel like I just wasted my money, but you know, I'm always one to kind of try things out a couple times, and if it doesn't work out, then you move on and you learn your lesson. So yeah. And then I just wanted to touch base a little bit on summer and technically what CAE is. It's a caprine arthritis disease that they can get. It's mainly contracted from mom to her kids through the colostrum in their milk. It definitely affects the joints. It usually doesn't show up in goats until they're older. So I technically don't know for sure if her limp had anything to do with actual CAE, but to me, it's a huge coincidence. I mean, that was the main reason. I mean, I was going to test my herd anyways, but that's the main reason why I wanted to get it done right away before I decided to breed them, because I just wanted to make sure my herd was clean. And in the goat world, you know, especially papered world, registered goats world, a lot of people want to see proof that your herd is clean. Now that's something that I made my mistake purchasing these goats. I didn't ask for proof. The only one that actually showed me anything was Roslyn, the first set of goats that I did get with her. The lady was like, oh, here's all my paperwork, here's my showing my test, my herd is clean. And you know, I kind of just went right over my head, didn't really even think about it to ask when I purchased my other goats. So I took it upon myself to, you know, test them. So again, all of the goats came back negative, and they do test them for 3 different things: Yonis, CL, and CAE. But I was mainly focused on CAE because of Summer, because I saw that she was struggling to walk. I saw that she had the limp. And even like the people from the lab called me afterwards and were like, you know that her limp probably could not be related. It could probably be something else. Maybe her hooves were clean. I trim their hooves like every month or so. I checked them every time I had a chance because I just want to make sure there was nothing stuck up there that I was overseeing. And so I don't know. So he was like, yeah, you know, it's really rare for it to affect them this young, because she was, you know, a little over a year. But it's a coincidence, right, that she's the only one that had it. So another way that they can contract it is kind of like how HIV is contracted with humans, so through bodily fluids. So if I was to take Rambo and breed him to Summer, he then can get it and then go ahead and pass it to my other doelings once I decide to breed them to him. And then it would just be all over, and it would be a huge mess, and then my whole herd would be now CAE positive, which again is something that you really don't want to have in your goats, because even though you think arthritis, it's not like life-threatening, even though it can be in extreme cases. You just don't want it with your herd, with your animals, with anything. It's just so frustrating. Oh my gosh. So yeah, so anyways, we put it out there that we were going to try to rehome her because I didn't have the heart to call her or put her down. And you know, I had a couple rescues reach out to me and they came and got her actually when we were on vacation. So I didn't even get to say an official goodbye to her, but luckily my mom was here and did that for us. It was kind of like really sad, but at the same time, I was really happy for her because I will tell you, she is at the Old Goats Home. They're in Washington, like in a little island in Washington that just rescues goats. And they have a few other animals too, but their main focus is goats. So you guys can check them out if you'd like. You might even see her story on there. I've been following along and I'm just like so happy. I feel like she's home in the right place where she needs to be. So I'm gonna be happy with that. So yes. And then just focus all of our energy onto getting horses and getting that set up. And doing that is just cleaning up this feed room, tack room, if you will. We kind of know how we want to set it up, but we're still kind of playing around with just moving stuff around. If you didn't notice, we moved the shelf. It's now behind me, right to the right when you walk into our feed room. It used to be straight back. And I feel like it kind of just opens up this whole space to where you have more room, because this to me was kind of just dead space. So I am going to be keeping like all of our feed pellets and everything. I do have extra, as I mentioned, goat feed right now because I cut them back like extremely on the pellet feed. I don't give it to them in the morning anymore. They just get their hay. So now I want to move on to another sad thing that had happened to us. We actually have no rabbits right now. So I did film a video a few weeks ago. I don't even remember what was on it, but I remember showing you guys that the rabbits were running around, playing and doing their thing. Didn't know that was going to be the last time that I'd see them. So what happened to our rabbits? So really strange, but well, the first one was kind of, I blame myself. So I do let the rabbits run around and play. You know, like I mentioned before, I don't like to see them in the cage all the time. I want them to be able to stretch their legs. We kind of felt like our pens were, you know, safe enough. We never let them out there for the entire day. Like we would come out periodically throughout the day to check on them, to make sure that they were still there, make sure they weren't digging, because we've come out to them digging huge tunnels. And whatnot. So I did let the rabbits out, and I came back out there to check on them later on in the day. I want to say it wasn't even evening. I would say it was like close to evening, but not quite evening. And I found Luna, which was behind Penelope's house. And there was kind of like a hole, like I think I mentioned in the past that we have like this much of a gap between our fence and the neighbor's fence, but she was laying there, and Soul was nowhere to be found. So I don't know what happened to Soul. I was looking everywhere. I could not find her. Long story short, she ended up in the neighbor's yard, and the neighbors told me that their dog had got it. And you know, I blame myself. I don't know if that's how she got out into the neighbor's yard, because like I said, it was such a small gap. I know rabbits can kind of squeeze through small spaces, but I feel like the slats in our fencing is bigger than what it was underneath, but it is what it is. So she ended up passing away because the dog got her. Now the following day, I did put Luna back in her cage once that happened, but the next day, me and my husband were out there with the animals, and we noticed that all of a sudden there was like this huge, like loud scream, and we were like, what the heck is that? And I honestly thought it was Charlotte, our little pig, because she was kind of hanging out around the rabbit cage, and I thought, what is she doing? Like, I've never heard that scream from her. So I walked over there to kind of get a better look and see what was going on, and I realized that it was Luna, our rabbit, screaming. And if you know rabbits are not vocal there at all. So I was like, that's really strange. So I was looking at it, and as I'm looking at her screaming, she starts like like having a seizure like movements, and like she couldn't walk, almost like vertigo type of thing. And I was like, oh my god, like what do I do? And like she did have an iced water bottle in her cage, and I did touch the side of her, so she was cool. She wasn't like hot. Like that's my initial thought. I thought she was overheating. We did have the misters going. I pulled her out of the cage, and me and my husband decided to bring her into the garage to cool her off. We were going to put the swamp cooler on there because that's just what we thought it was. And before we even sat her down in the, you know, the garage, she had passed. So I'm like freaking out because I'm just like, what happened? So I'm trying to do my research, and there's only like a handful of things of why a rabbit would scream like that. And I guess they said like excruciating pain, head trauma, and then they do that right before they pass. So she did do that right before she passed, but I'm just trying to figure out why she passed. Like, how did she die? Did she die because her sister is no longer there? Like, can rabbits die of a broken heart? Like, I don't really know. It's just really strange to kind of lose both of them in two completely different ways. So yeah, so we are rabbitless right now. I'll be honest, like I'm not, like I've mentioned in the past, actually, like I'm not a huge rabbit person. But like I didn't want them to die, especially the way that they did. I don't know that we'll replace them anytime soon. Like my husband likes having them, so we probably will get some again, but I don't know that we'll get the same breed, and I don't know that we'll get them right away because we do have, again, other projects coming in that we want to do. We're just not doing anything right now because it's so hot in the summertime, and so we're kind of taking a break from doing things outside because like right now it's early, like it's 7 o'clock, 7:30 in the morning. This is the cool time of the day. Usually about 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock it starts getting really hot, and today is actually the coolest day of the whole month. I think it's gonna be like 93. We've been in triple digits every day in June, which is ridiculous. Like we usually are not used to this weather until about, you know, end of June, July, August. It's just it's so crazy, so hot. So yeah, there you go. Like that's just kind of our updates going on. So we have some good news with horses coming in, and just kind of like our new buckling that we've got. Then we have sad news because we've lost some animals, and I never want to lose an animal, especially one that I've taken such good care of. And it's just, it hits me harder than I think it does my family, just because I'm the one, like their main caretaker. And yeah, like, so it is what it is. But I think what I'm going to do today is, I'm definitely going to try to clean this up a little bit in here, and then try to beat the heat before it gets too hot. And then I did water my, I gave some supplemental water to my orchard, which I'll probably show you guys in the next video, just kind of how that's going along, because I have a few trees that haven't given me anything, and I'm gonna keep them there and see what happens next year. They might die, I don't know, but as far as right now, they're not giving me much. I think one is completely dead, but there's a few that show no signs of life, but you scratch them and they're completely green inside and moist, so they are still alive. At least that's the way I've always done it. So I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I have fertilized them. I have given them supplement water. I have babied them, as you will. And I did have to just change things up out there. So I will definitely do an orchard like update tour. Like I said, probably in the next video, if it's not too hot. Let's hope. So I'm going to leave you guys with that. I just wanted to give you guys some updates, and then just check on the farm animals while I'm out here. And then I got to go grab some stuff and bring it in here. So I got a lot of stuff to do, and I want to beat the heat. So I'll see you guys next time. Thank you guys so much for watching. Talk to you guys later. Bye.